Podcast Season 2.
That's what's up.
We're back.
We're back. Wait, did you miss us? Did you miss us?
Come on. Y'all did.
The wait is over.
They did. We are finally back.
Woohoo!
That's crazy.
I know.
Feels so crazy to be back.
I feel kind of shy.
Kinda shy. I don't know. Let's see how this episode is going to go because,
girl,
it's been a while.
It's been a while. We might be like a bit rusty, but
yeah,
take us as we are.
Yeah, just, manage.
Yeah. Should I do my intro?
No.
No, like the other intro.
The better one. Okay, go ahead.
What's up? It's your co-host, Praise or Praise, and Signorina.
And yeah, we're the hosts. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah. I feel like we do that all the time.
We do.
That's funny. But we're back. It's been 2 months.
2 months. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
That's crazy.
It's like summer at this point.
Right.
Okay, spring. We're still in spring. But
anyway, are we? Finland.
Yeah, we are. We are. It's May. We are. Anyway, welcome to In the Now podcast. We missed you guys. I don't know if you guys missed us.
We did.
But I'm quite sure y'all did. Of course, like to see these faces. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, anyway, how are you doing? I'm justified to ask you that.
Whatever.
It's been a long time. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Honestly, I feel good. I feel content.
Yeah.
With life.
That's great, actually.
Right?
That's really, really good.
Right? I really do feel content.
Yeah.
And I'm happy with where I am in my life right now. And I'm just like super excited for the future.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I know, right?
Genuinely. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, so I took a break from work. My father doesn't agree.
Obviously, that's normal. I would be pissed too.
Right. Yeah. So I took a break from work. I'm touring with The Send. So like, first of all, guys, let's just take a pause to talk about The Send.
Yeah.
So The Send is like this
huge massive
like arena like event happening
in Finland, Helsinki.
In Finland,
you guys,
all places.
Yeah.
So like it's a movement that started in the US, and it's found its way to Finland.
Yeah.
And it's going to be amazing. Like so, like the point of it is just like mobilizing Christians to actually respond to the call of God, which is the Great Commission, which is a call for every single Christian, and every single believer.
Yeah.
So it's going to be
to go to the ends of the earth, make disciples.
Like literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
So I'm touring with my Send team, and we're just going to like different churches and different like youth gatherings to encourage them.
Yeah.
And talk about the Send.
That's
and
amazing.
Just mobilize people across Finland.
When is the Send happening?
The Send is happening in June.
Yeah.
The 7th of June. It's going to be like literally the whole day. I think it's from 12 to like 10 p.m. It's going to be amazing. Get your tickets.
Yeah, you have to actually buy tickets.
Get your tickets.
Do you have your tickets?
I'm gonna get in for free.
Okay, see, you have it. Whatever. I had to buy my ticket.
But the rest of y'all, y'all need to buy a ticket.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm going to do a giveaway because I got my ticket for free.
Yeah.
So I think I think I'm gonna buy a ticket for someone for free. So if you want to come to The Send, but you can't afford the tickets, DM me. Find my Instagram. It's going to be
in the now.
Or just like, send an email to In the Now or DM us on Instagram, and we're going to we're going to figure it out. Don't worry about I'm
it.
willing to give at least like one ticket out to someone who can't afford it. So get your tickets. We're going to put the link right here. So you
not
can
here.
Oh, not there.
But
Description box.
Exactly.
All right. How are you doing?
How am I doing? Oh gosh, I'm doing good. Working obviously. At all times.
Wow.
But I'm really, really good. I feel super refreshed, like you said.
Wow.
I feel like there's peace in my life. I love that. Very, very like not really a quiet season. Oh, kind of a quiet season, but not in a bad way.
Okay.
In a good way. It's a quiet season, a season of peace, for sure.
I love that.
And nothing crazy is happening, and I love this balance in my life right now. I'm really, really grateful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
And I'm content. Yeah. I'm
Contentment.
Yeah. It's really, really important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are we talking about today?
We're talking about just living a life with a sense of purpose, with a sense of I'm going somewhere.
Yeah.
So that you don't get burnt out and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like this topic is really important to us because I think purpose in general has been something that we've talked about a lot, you know, privately, especially, not like even in our podcast for sure.
Yeah.
But, you know, just throughout our lives and our friendship, we've talked about purpose a lot and living a life with a sense of purpose. Like you were created for something and you're supposed to do something. And if you don't do that something, you're not going to be fulfilled, you know, and whatever else you do doesn't matter. I think, who said that? Somebody else said that.
Who said that?
I don't know, but somebody else said that.
Okay.
It's not from me anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but still, and I feel like that's so important. And the reason why people are so like frustrated, people get tired, people are burnt out, and people feel like they have to achieve, and then they get tired is because of lack of purpose and lack of that sense of purpose. I don't know if that makes sense.
Makes absolute sense. Yeah. Like this, someone said that the biggest reason why people are actually like people get burnt out is the fact that they are doing so much that is not part of their purpose. They're doing so much that is not part of what they're actually meant to do on earth. So they don't have like an aim. They don't have a goal. They're just like achieving stuff, like achieve this and then achieve the next thing. But that leads to burnout, and that leads to like so much frustration and so much like anger, and even can lead to depression and like anxiety. So I think the problem is not like doing too little or doing too much. I think the problem is actually doing what doesn't make sense for you at the moment and doing what you're not even supposed to be doing.
So like doing the right things, because anyone that is like a master in their craft or whatever is because they spend time doing that one thing very, very well. Like if you want to become a very good teacher, a very good doctor, you have to spend time doing that thing. You know, it doesn't really make sense. I do think that you as a person, you can have many talents and many gifts and many graces and stuff like that you can do a lot of things. But I feel like that thing that you were called to do, you have to invest time in that. Because if your calling is to be, let's say, a teacher, for example, now I'm using that, a teacher, but you're doing that and then you're into engineering and you're also a doctor and you're also a lawyer and you're doing a bunch of different things, you're going to just end up with a mess and you're going to be confused in life. What is it that you're supposed to be doing? So you can't actually, if you want to be fulfilled, you want to be content and you want to have direction, you know, in your life, you can't be doing every single thing at the same time, especially
at least not at the same time. Exactly.
So you have to really like, what is that thing that you were called to do, and you walk towards that. Because if you're not doing that, because having purpose in life, or that sense that this is what I'm supposed to do, it gives you direction in life. Like you can't just be wandering around doing a bunch of stuff that actually doesn't make sense at the end, or doesn't add to your life at the end of the day.
And you're going to be so distracted by everything happening around you. Especially in today's world, like there is so much happening and people have so many opinions and people are trying to get you to choose a side, and it can become like very overwhelming. So if you don't actually know where you stand, you don't know what you're living for, you don't know what your purpose is on this earth, like you can just like, you're like one day you're running to this direction, tomorrow you're going to this other direction without actually knowing your place. But when you know who you are, number one, you know what you're called to do, regardless of what anyone else is doing,
whatever else is happening,
like you remain in your position. You're not moved. Thank you. In your lane. Like people like to say like, stay in your lane and I'll stay on my lane. Like you don't even know what your lane is.
Thank you.
You don't know what your lane is someone else's lane, and you think it's your lane. It's not your lane. So when you actually stay in your lane, you will feel like fulfilled. You are able to achieve like contentment, and also you will avoid comparing yourselves to others, because on your lane is just you. But when you are on someone else's lane, it's the two of you. So you will even get to see them, and you get to see what they're doing, and you will be tempted to compare yourself to them and to compare your achievements with their achievements. And to compare your successes with their own successes. But when you are on your own lane, you're doing your own thing. It's just you. Yeah. It's literally just you.
Yeah. And I've heard the saying that the only person you should compare yourself to is yourself.
Yes.
Obviously, yes, I do think you should take inspiration from others and be inspired, you know,
to do better.
Yeah, to do better and become better. Because if you only like live in this your own little bubble, you're not going to grow or go very far because you're not seeing greater examples and stuff like that. So but in that sense, that don't compare yourself to others because their journey is different than your journey. You're supposed to compare yourself to yourself. Am I better than what I was yesterday? Like that type of mentality. And if you do that and you think about that and it's your lifestyle, I'm not saying that that's exactly what you need to think about every day, but it's just your lifestyle to better yourself. At the end of the year, you see yourself genuinely be better than what you were like at the beginning of the year, right? And I think that, like you said about comparison, and it reminded me, I remember there was this time that I was praying, you know, in my house, and like this, somehow I felt so like guilty. I was comparing myself to, you know, other people, and I was like, why am I not like that? Why am I not, I don't do this thing like this person, and I don't do that like the other person, and stuff like that. And the Holy Spirit literally told me that you can't compare yourself with a person that has 15 years more experience than you do in this area. Because while I'm trying to, like, let's say I've been doing, I can't even give really an example.
Maybe like, for example, your teaching job.
Thank you. For example, that's what, sorry guys, I'm going to tell you. I'm sorry. That's the like thing that is in my head all the time. But for example, that I can't compare my, like literally I've been a teacher for 6 months at this point, or 8. But anyway, like less than a year being a teacher. I can't compare myself to somebody that has been doing this thing for 15 years.
That's crazy.
But don't you understand how like stupid I was thinking?
It's ridiculous.
And I think
it doesn't make any logical sense.
It doesn't make any sense. How can you have the same amount of experience like with the other person that you're comparing yourself to that has been doing it for 15 years?
That's crazy.
Come on. You know, and like that's how you also see that whatever you spend your time doing, you will master that thing.
Yes.
You will become even better at that thing. Yeah. Right. So I feel like when it comes to purpose and when it comes to you doing the thing that you were called to do, time. Yeah. You have to give it time. Yeah. Because it will not really make sense.
Yeah. And can I just say that sometimes it's going to be trial and error.
For sure.
It's going to be testing the waters.
It's part of the thing.
Yeah. Sometimes you're going to have to test multiple things until you actually figure out what it is that you are called to do. Yeah. And there is no shame in that. Yeah. There is literally no shame in that. Yeah. Like, that's okay. Yeah. Like, living a life with a sense of purpose doesn't mean that you know all the answers. Like, it doesn't mean that you know everything. Yeah. You can't. And sometimes you're going to doubt yourself. You're going to doubt your calling. You're going to doubt your journey. Yeah. Especially because even though you're going to be in your own lane, you're still living in
and the world. And you see the other lanes.
You see the other lanes as well. Yeah. And you see other people. Like, if you're a student, you see other students around you.
Your age mates.
Exactly. Yeah. And your peers are probably doing different things than you are, maybe some of them. Yeah. You know? So you will be tempted to compare yourself, and you will be tempted to maybe do what they're doing. Yeah. And that's okay. But the point is that you don't get carried away with those things.
Yeah, you shouldn't just throw yourself out of your lane.
Exactly.
Because of that. Because that temptation will come for sure.
For sure.
Especially when it seems that somebody next to you literally has it all figured out. Yeah. I mean, it looks like that. It might not be the truth.
Exactly.
But especially in moments like that, you want to all of a sudden change your field. You want to change that thing that you're supposed to do. Yes. You know? I feel like you have to be somehow very much aware of the fact that distractions and like other things will be happening all the time. Yeah. So if you're not sure like what you're supposed to do, you're not sure about yourself, my goodness, you're going to try absolutely everything and do different things, and you're never going to, you know, master that one thing like what I've talked about, you know. So it's somehow really important for you to block out those distractions and other things. You don't have to always, you know, compare yourself, and you shouldn't, in fact. You shouldn't.
And can I just say, give yourself time?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I think that's what you already said, but like, can we just like emphasize that? Give yourself time, because even when you do figure out what you're called to do, it might actually take you time to get to a point where you are doing it, or where it seems like you have it figured out, like you're actually doing it.
Yeah.
Because like most of the motivational speakers we listen to are like way older than us, which is good. Like it's good that we get to learn like from their lives, but like remember that these guys are older than you usually. They've lived lives, like they've had experiences, they've learned from their mistake, and it took them time to get to a point where they're actually doing what they feel like they're called to do. So give yourself time and be gracious with yourself, because like two people might have kind of the same callings, but those two people are never the same. They don't have the same parents, they don't have the same like opportunities in life,
upbringing, everything.
Some might have had like rich parents, some didn't. They might have lived in different countries that afforded them different kinds of opportunities. And maybe someone had a mentor, the other person didn't have a mentor,
for example. That's
and
important.
they had to figure it out by themselves. So that's why it's really important to be gracious to yourself. Like even like you said, as a teacher, you might be in the same field with another teacher, but you guys are not the same people, and even your teaching is not going to look exactly the same, because you're different people, and you have to be okay with that. And you have to be okay with that. Like you really have to be okay with that. If not, like we already said, it's going to lead to frustration and like you not being content with where you are and who you are.
And you also said something interesting. You said sometimes like it will take you time to figure out what you're supposed to do, and like while at that you might like delve into stuff, different things, other stuff that you're doing and stuff like that, which is not necessarily bad, because especially when it comes to God has a way of merging things. Like when you for example being a singer is not your calling at all, but for example you got into a choir, for example, and you're been singing and stuff like that, somehow along the line that thing will help you in the future. That little experience that you gathered, that little thing that you were able to do or be part of, it's going to help you with your actual purpose. Because in this life, I feel like we can't afford to also be so narrow-minded that because you think, okay, my purpose is to be a missionary, to go and help people like in different places, I'm not going to have a career. Yeah, you should have. Absolutely. You do you get my point? Like you should still do other things, because everything is going to, add to you, add to your value, and you're able to offer even more because you've had more experience. You've done a lot of other stuff, even having work experience. I feel like everybody in this life should work at a fast food restaurant, right? Or customer service, whatever.
Customer like whatever service type of customer service.
Everybody, because it teaches you something, it builds you up. And I feel like till this day, like today we went to grab coffee earlier today, and like at the cashier there was this like young lady, and you can see that she's just training, she's learning and stuff like that. Both of us were just thinking, man, I don't want to be at that point anymore, because you remember yourself when you were there. So that, like you having gone through that, way back in the days, you are able to be more patient with the other person on the other side, because you know what it's like, and you respected their job. You're not like, oh, who is this small girl that doesn't know what they're doing? You give them grace and you extend that to them because you've experienced that.
That's good.
That's good. Because experience is also good, like good experience, not the crazy stuff that people like to do. Like genuinely good experience, adding to your knowledge, to your value, and all of that. And like sometimes on your journey you can feel lost, and you can feel like I have no idea what I'm doing. Like you will have a big old sign of I'm lost, send help. Like sometimes it can feel like that, but I think we shouldn't be afraid. We shouldn't be scared of those moments at all.
In Finnish we say te kuuluu asiaan.
It's part of the thing.
Is like when, like as a nurse, when I take care of patients like after surgery, and I ask them like, okay, what is like your pain level at this moment? And they tell me like maybe a 3, but then when they try to move, like maybe a 7. And I'm like, okay, it's okay, cool, or ASEAN. Like it's part of the recovery. Like you are going to feel pain. Like your body was just like torn apart. Like you are going to feel pain, but as long as it's like a manageable kind of level, like that's okay. So like in the same way, during like on your journey to finding purpose and to even while you are doing while you're living living out your purpose, you are going to feel lost at some point,
for sure.
Like you're going to feel disappointed.
It's part of life.
It's really part of life in general. And like during those times it's okay to ask for help. Like just like it would be kind of stupid for you to be lost and like physically lost and like you don't have a map, your GPS is not working,
you don't have a phone,
and then you're trying to somehow figure it out by yourself.
It doesn't
when
make
you
sense.
can just ask for help. Like you can just stop someone and be like, hey, sorry, I'm lost, help me. So in the same way, when we are lost in life, don't just like be by yourself trying to figure it out by yourself. Ask for help. And
I feel like having wise people in your life is so pivotal, because they can literally help you in that your moment when you're lost. They can direct you. Okay, you're supposed to take right, or have you considered this aspect of your life? Because not necessarily do this, but have you considered? And that will make you think. But being lost is such a real thing. No one has it figured out, guys. No one has it figured out like that. Even if you know what you're called to do and what you're supposed to do and things like that, still you will have, like you said, moments when you're going to doubt what is the point in this. And I feel like you have to also learn how to be okay with that to an extent. You can't be lost for 5 years and you said this is just my life. That's not possible. I understand months, but it can't. Even a year is a lot.
That's a long
It's
time.
a lot because 1 year is really a long time. So you can't be so lost. Make sure you have people that will speak to you. But I understand like weeks. I understand months. Sometimes it's like that. Sometimes you have seasons that you just genuinely don't know what you're supposed to do, and that's okay. But even while like being lost in that sense, seek for direction. Like you said, ask somebody. Let the wise people in your life give you counsel, advise you, help you, and try to do something also. I feel like being idle is also the worst thing that you can do. Even if you're not moving, don't be idle. Even if you're not making any crazy decisions, let me move to a different country. You don't have to do that, but don't be idle when you're lost, because I feel like that makes everything even like way worse,
And like when you are doing something, it shapes you into who you are. It shapes you into, it has like somehow a way of shaping you into who you're supposed to be. Like it might not even be the right thing. No, sorry. It might not be what you're supposed to be doing at the moment. But it's going to always help to shape you into who you are supposed to be, So it's really important not to be idle. Like that's why I said in the beginning that my dad was like, why are you taking 2 months break from work? But because he doesn't want me to be idle. Like he doesn't want me to just stay home doing nothing. I mean, I have things to do. But still, like, that's why it's important for you to have things to do. Like, even if, like, for example, you've lost your job and you feel so depressed and you feel lost and you feel like you have to start from the beginning.
Like that's it.
Start going for walks. Like just walk outside. Like figure out something to do. Like start a new hobby. You have to keep your mind busy. Like not busy, like, of course, it's okay to
like there has to be momentum. There has to be movement.
It's okay for you to like sometimes sit down and think and just be still. But it's also really important to have something doing, like at all times. Like keep your brain active. If not, there's going to be like a total shutdown.
And it doesn't have to be something that wearies you and makes you tired, like having something doing, but something that keeps your mind active, like you said. That is just so important. And somehow, like what you said about if you, for example, lose your job and you have to do something, or for example, what you said about you having to do something for a period. Like it's a temporal something. And like I said earlier, I think that temporal thing can really help you in the future, like build you up. Like I said, it can build your character and stuff like that. So don't despise humble beginnings. Don't despise when you have to do like those periods when you have to do something that you didn't really want to do. But because you get you understand? Because it's really important for you to also, it really builds you. If we always skip the process and we make it to the end of our lives, we're never going to appreciate anything. Like never in our lives we're going to be grateful for anything, you know. So it's really important. Sometimes that's what's going to happen. You're going to have to work at a temporal job, for example, for 2 years, for 3 years before you get there, like wherever you want to go.
And like life is not about us. Like it's not about, oh, what do I want to do, what makes me happy, what fulfills me, because if you think like that, you will never be able to do anything that is below your expectation.
Exactly.
Because like when you want to build your career, you are going to start out as an intern, and then you're going to move to like an employee, like a low level employee, and then maybe move to management, and then maybe like move up the ladder. But if you are so selfish to think that life is about me and fulfilling myself and achieving my dreams, you will never be able to go through the actual steps that are required. Like you have to be able to put other people before you. I feel like that's also part of living with a sense of purpose, because trust me, like when you are only focusing on yourself, you think it's going to help you get better.
It doesn't.
But it doesn't.
It does the opposite. That's the opposite effect.
Like
you can't be selfish. Genuinely. Nah, but you're saying something really important.
It's not about you. It cannot always be about you. Like it really can't.
And if you are working, for example, a job that is like lower than what you expected, or you have to do something for a season that you know that there is so much more for you in life, you know, or what God has promised you, and you do that. But like, do you understand what kind of character do you have to have for you to do a job that is way below your means? Like you know that there is so much more in you, you know, and you still have to. For example, do you know, like when, for example, immigrants move from a country to country, and they were doctors and lawyers or whatever at their home country, and they come to Europe, for example, and all of a sudden they're cleaners, and they're like, wait a minute, you know, this is not what I'm supposed to do. But the fact that they're able to do that, and then they know that, okay, this is just a temporal thing. This is not the end. I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to like get back on my feet, and I'm going to climb. It takes like, that's character, you know. I'm about to speak French over here, but I'm thinking like what kind of a character? I can't say it, like in English doesn't match what French will say, but like what character? Like what kind of a man are you? What kind of a woman are you? Like in a very good way, you know, like honorable. That is honorable, you know.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And I feel like people like that will always make it far in life.
Oh, yeah.
People like that can humble themselves, that know that, okay, there is more, but I'm not going to be proud. I'm not going to be angry. I'm not going to be arrogant. I'm not going to rule over others. I'm not going to push others just because I know I'm supposed to be in the top. Broski, calm down, relax. You know, that time is going to come, you know. Yeah.
And I feel like really, like you already said, like somehow things just work out.
They do.
When you are
Romans 8:28. We know that all things work together for good. To them that love God and are called according to his purpose. Absolutely. Go ahead and continue.
Amen. Like things really do work out. And where I lost my thoughts.
Sorry.
Like just staying faithful in every season.
It's
so important.
Thank you.
Staying faithful in every season and in anything that you are like doing at the moment, because you really don't know what God is planning. You don't know what God is trying to build in your life. And so just stay faithful, because somehow things always work out.
And do you know that the biggest temptations come when you are close to a breakthrough? Like you're close to, you know, getting to the other side. You're close.
That is
to
true. That is actually true.
Even like when it comes to like good things, the counterfeit comes just before you're getting the right thing, the real thing. So that's why it's so important for you to stay faithful no matter what it looks like. And people that compromise regret that a lot.
Wow.
Yeah, there's certain compromises you shouldn't even make in life, because it will affect your life.
Wow.
There's certain things you're not supposed to compromise in, even if, like, when it comes to purpose and life and everything, waiting for your next is always hard.
Wow.
Waiting for the next is always hard.
Wow.
But you have to stay faithful, and you have to continue to do good. You know,
that's good. That's good. Like sometimes you are there not because of something that you are going to like get from it, but sometimes you might be there for someone else.
That, gosh, that used to piss me off before, but now I'm just, now anytime something like that happens in my life, I'm asking God, why am I here?
Yeah.
What am I doing here? I just understand it's not about me, it's about somebody else.
Yeah. Sometimes
like I'm supposed
to
help somebody
else. It's
else.
about someone else.
Yeah.
It's not about you.
Yeah.
And like it takes humility to be like, I'm still gonna show up.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not going to like gain anything.
Personal experiences. Yeah. Especially that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And but that's the thing in this life. I feel like you have to be a giver, because if you always want to be at the receiving end, when God sends you to places, to people, and you know that you're not benefiting or you're not gaining anything, but you know that, okay, I'm here genuinely for this person. You're not going to like leave, because you could leave. You're not going to leave. You're going to stay there. You're going to do and accomplish what you were supposed to accomplish, you know? Because sometimes we think, why am I here? What am I doing here? Like I should be living my life somewhere. I should be doing this and that. But then when you have encounters with people and you meet them and you have discussions and you see your impact in somebody's life, that's when you're like, okay, I understand why God would have me be here, or why God would have me do this, or why God would stop me from doing this so I can do this for a while and then get back to my own life. Do you get the point?
I do.
Yeah, I hope y'all get the point.
I think they do.
Yeah, and it's interesting. But I feel like that is a blessed life.
Wow.
When you give.
It's actually a blessing.
That is, it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Wow.
That is a blessed life. And I feel like when we're talking about purpose, it's serving others. That's always there. You obviously know God, make God known through your talents, your gifts, whatever God has committed into your hands. That's ultimately your purpose. And for you to have a relationship with Him. Like literally, I'm not playing. That's why people are not content, because y'all don't know Him. Y'all should know Him, those that don't know Him. Anyway, but that, and also on top of that, serving others.
It's almost like when you think about, or like when you think you've figured out what your purpose is. Yeah. And that it has nothing to do with others
and serving others.
Yeah, and also it doesn't benefit anyone other than yourself.
You've missed something.
There's something wrong there.
Yeah, you've missed something.
You've really missed something.
Really big. Yeah, because your life is not about you. Your life is not about you. Christ laid His life for us, and that's what we're supposed to do for each other.
Wow, that's
like literally, that's Bible.
That's a very high standard.
It is. He left really a high standard for us. But even if we talk about like Christ, Jesus was such a great example to us, like a perfect example for us. In fact, He was serving people, being Lord, and He served. Yeah. So who are we as human beings, His children, not to serve? Yeah. We are supposed to serve. Wow. And I feel like genuinely when you serve, that is when you are going to be content. Yes. I can't even like imagine my life without serving others. Yes. What an empty life. Wow. Genuinely. Yeah. Wow. So if you want to, like if you're lost, one thing also is for you to serve. Yeah. If you're lost, serve. Yeah. There is a blessing in that. God is going to direct you, especially when you're serving, you know, others, you're helping others and you're being there, you're there for them, you know.
That's good. Yeah. That's good. I don't know if I have anything else
purpose
to add.
Yeah. But don't feel like you have to have everything figured out genuinely, because none of us do. We don't even like, we're just talking out of what we know, knowledge, small wisdom that we have, and life experience and what we've heard from others, what we've seen and stuff like that. But we don't also have it figured out. Absolutely. I'm not quite sure what's happening in 10 years, in 5 years. I'm not sure.
I have no idea.
But all I know is that as long as I'm with God, I keep my relationship with God, and I'm serving others, and then I do the things that He has told me to do, I'll be fine. I'll be good. You know, that's so even good. If I'm not 100% sure that this is it, I'm supposed to be a pastor. I'm not saying I am, but do you get the point? Okay. Because some people know that, okay, I'm supposed to be a pastor. I didn't say that I am. Jeez, guys, calm down. I didn't say that, but some people know that they're supposed to be a pastor. So that's what they're working towards. I don't know if my own is that clear. Do you get the point?
I know what
but
you
my
mean.
own is to serve, and and I'm just going and I'm just serving and I'm just helping, you know, especially women and children, even men and youths. And my own is broad. Come on.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with all of that. Yeah. I have no idea what life holds.
Yeah.
But I just know that as long as I'm serving God and I'm serving people, like I can never go wrong.
You can't.
I can never go wrong. And I trust that and I believe that. And I think one thing with purpose is that you can't just sit down and you're thinking in your head, what is the purpose of my life? Come to me, purpose, come
Don't
to
do
me.
that. That's witchcraft.
Exactly.
No,
like,
yet,
it doesn't come like that. You have to actually just start doing something.
Yeah.
Start
it's in the doing
life.
that you also discover.
Yes.
Genuinely. When you move, when you're doing, when you're serving, you discover more. And people also see things about you and say, hey, like I said, have you considered this thing? Hello. You know, people see things about you and then that can shape you and, you know, help you and direct you. And God is so faithful that if you are serving his people and also people that are not his people, really, so the people of the world, you know, then I'm sorry, guys, but if you're just serving people in general, because we're supposed to serve everybody anyway, you know, God has a way of guiding you, of directing you. He is way more faithful than we are. So that's why also it's not about achievements. It's not about how much I can do, what I can do. As much as God cares about what we do, also it's not about you. You know, you didn't save yourself in the first place. Like, do you get the point?
I do.
It's not really about you. You know, God is God all by himself. He doesn't even need us.
Yeah,
you
that's
know,
good.
He wants us. That's the difference.
Wow.
You know, exactly. So if you think that life is about me, I'll do, you get tired. You'll be burnt out. You get depressed.
Wow.
So think about it. And that's why, like, the purpose-driven life, the book, Rick Warren said that we are, like, in his book, he said that we're human beings, not human doings.
Wow.
And I feel like that's one of the things that, like, I just remember about the book. I read it, like, last year, I think, about, you know, purpose and everything. And that really stuck to me because I've never really been the type of person that thinks about achieving, you know. I just be going, I just be doing. People are the ones that I always talk about, oh my God, life is not about achieving. And I'm like, okay, you know, because genuinely, like, I don't know, like, I'm just living my life, I'm just serving him, right? And stuff like that. But I think when I read that in the book, that we're human beings and not human doings, it also, like, it dawned on me kind of that it's not really about my doing. It's not that I prayed for so long or I prayed many hours or I'm praying every day. Not that. And as wonderful as it is, you know, as great as it is, God doesn't, like, rate me because of that. In that sense. I don't know if I'm explaining well. Anyway,
that's
one day we're going to talk about Christianity and God and stuff like that. Like just the full episode. That's what we're talking about, because we keep talking about God anyway. Yeah. But one day we'll have, like, a episode dedicated to that. Yeah. And talk about that and secrets to, like, us growing and stuff like that. Yeah, you know.
That's a good one.
Yeah, what helped us, you know, and what is still helping us.
This point. Yes. That's good.
Yeah. But you see, if we seem like we got it figured out, it's Christ, it's not us. Because even now, as I'm saying, we are so lost, it sounds like we're not. Okay. At this point, that's it, guys.
We're not lost. We're not lost. We're not confused.
Yeah, but we also don't got everything figured
exactly.
out.
We don't have all the answers yet because we're quite young still. We have so much to discover. So much to discover and, like, so much ahead of us and
a lot ahead of us. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, but that's that.
Yeah, that's that. Just, I think the takeaway for this episode is just to one, realize that as long as you are trying to just achieve and striving for the next thing, you will never be happy.
Yeah. Live it in the now, guys. You actually have to live in the now. It's not just about the next thing. Yeah.
And then number 2 is that be gracious to yourself. Yeah. It's okay to sometimes be lost. All you need to do is to stop, take a moment and ask for help. Yes. And then number 3 is that never stop doing, like, what you're doing. Like,
doing good.
Yeah. If, like, never stop doing whatever you're doing, because it's also in the doing that you realize what you are actually called to do.
Yeah. Did you guys get that? I hope you guys caught that.
Don't like belittle whatever you're doing at the moment. Keep doing that thing and keep being faithful to that thing. And somehow the right doors will open. Yeah. and you're going to get to a point where you actually feel like, wow, this is what I'm called to do.
So please live a life with a sense of purpose.
Yeah.
Everybody has a purpose.
Please.
We are all here for a reason.
Please do.
And these things that we've talked about, being kind, serving others and stuff like that, very important. Carry that in your life every single day.
Yeah.
If possible. So so do
and
that.
Can I just say that every single one of us has a purpose?
Yeah,
It's not some like magic word. It's not for just only
Christians.
Special people. Every single person has a purpose in this world. Yeah. You're not a mistake. You're not some kind of casualty. And you might feel like, oh, I'm not good at anything. That's not true. That is literally not true. There is something you are good at. Yeah. If you sit down and you think about it, you will think of something. Yeah. If you can't think of anything, ask the people around you and they will tell you what you are good at. And just focus on like growing that thing and you are going to like grow into what you are called to do. So there is a reason why you are here. Don't ever forget that. And keep doing what you're doing. Just keep going at it, and everything else will fall into place. It sounds simple, but it's actually as simple as that. Yeah.
And I feel like if you apply these things when you are like, let's say 120 years old, let me just wish you guys well, but 120 years old and you look back in life, you're like, man, I lived life and you lived it well. Yeah. Right. So you want to live a full you want to live a full life. You want to live a life with a sense of purpose. So do that. Guys, that's it.
That's good.
Season 2, we are back. I know you guys missed us. Come on. I missed me. Hello.
Whoa.
No, I missed us because generally I listen to our podcast.
I know. Yeah, me too.
Exactly.
Me
so
too.
I'll get to also listen to us.
I missed us too.
I haven't really been listening to any other podcasts recently. Just genuinely, seriously.
That's true though.
But we're back.
Yes.
Yay.
Expect amazing things.
Yeah. This season is going to be really amazing though.
No,
it is.
Actually true.
This season is amazing. There's so much in store for you guys.
Don't miss out.
Yeah.
Don't miss out. Like, I would cry.
Yeah. Tune in. Tell your friends to tell their friends that we are back. In the Now podcast is back. If you missed season 1, I'll forgive you. Season 2 is not to be missed. Seriously. This season is not to be missed. We're back.
And
see you in episode 2.
Bye. Thank you for watching.